If we work together, we will come up with exactly what we need to do to create a sustainable future for all life. Together, we are a genius.
Together, we can make a difference. I asked myself if I had 1 minute to tell you about this, what would I tell you? And what I want to tell you is we can't do this alone. What's going on with our climate is very close to my heart. It's not a political challenge, it's a personal one. It's a spiritual challenge. And you are my spiritual family. And I deeply, deeply from my heart invite you to awaken to what is going on around you and to join us here to awaken the dreamer and change the dream with me next Friday. And also on the 21st, let Seaside be the place to be on Earth Day. Let us take a stand on this. I ask you from my heart to please participate and join us.
Thank you, Callie. Spring classes are starting at Seaside now. Reverend Christian is offering a class, Introduction to Mysticism, on Tuesday evenings. This is a 3-week course, and it's an exploration of the mystic consciousness and the way to experience it. Through deep spiritual practice, Reverend Christian will help you experience oneness with Spirit. If you are prepared for transformation and a desire for experiencing your authentic connection with the infinite, please join us. This starts this Tuesday at 7. Reverend Tammy is teaching Visioning on Mondays, and this is an evening class that lasts for 8 weeks from 6 until 9, and the class starts on April 15th. And if you're new to Science of Mind and Seaside, Reverend Lori Sheets is teaching the Foundations class on Thursday mornings at 10, starting this week. This is an overview of the principles of Science of Mind and a great way to learn more about the philosophy we live. And I know that I took this years ago about 4 times because there was something I got from it that was different each and every time. So it's a great way to find out what it is that is our philosophy here. There are more classes coming up, so be sure and check in the family room at the education table and find out what is coming up, and you can register there. Seaside Singles is having a brunch at El Cajon in Encinitas next Sunday at 12:45. And the couples groups are doing really some fabulous things. If you look in your program, they're offering things like the Magic Bus Wine Tour and a picnic and the Summer Pops. They're just a couple of the things that they're offering, so check that out. And as you noticed, today we've got our fellows with tuxes on. And Christian's wearing a tux as well, and Tammy's all dressed up. And this is just to remind you that we are beginning our launching of our Silver Circle. This is our 25th anniversary of Seaside, 25 years we've been here in this community. And to launch this, we're having a celebration and a dedication of our celebration garden next Sunday, so please stick around for that. We'll have some food and we'll have music and it'll be great. We're doing a ribbon cutting ceremony. We're going to be having, the deputy mayor is going to be cutting the ribbon. We're having a representative from the supervisor, Dave Roberts, and the Chambers of Commerce will be here. It'll be a great day to celebrate Seaside and the launching of our 25th anniversary celebration. And I don't know how many of you noticed the new badges that some people are wearing. This is our Silver Circle Club, and Joan and Stella are taking applications for that in the family room. We're going to be having a grand gala in October, and this is going to be at the Del Mar Hilton, and this is going to be a huge event. If you sign up for the Silver Circle Club, you are going to be invited to different celebrations that are going to be going on all this year up until October, where we have our grand finale at the gala. These guys will be playing and looking very handsome at that too. They'll be dancing. There'll be entertainment there. There'll be a VIP party ahead of time. And for some of you that didn't know, this is actually where, when Christian came, to Seaside 22 years ago, we outgrew this facility we were in within weeks, and so we were having our services at the Hilton. So it's kind of a commemorative time for that. So you can sign up for this club, the Silver Circle Club in the back. It's only $25 a month for 10 months, so it's going to be easy for most of us to be able to be a part of this. So please see Stella and Joan in the back, and they'll answer any questions there are. Okay? Thank you. Now would you stand and greet your neighbor? Please remain standing for our congregational song.
Let me get you to rock to your right, to your left. Feel your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Join me. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart. Put your feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. So that was part one. Here comes part two. Find somebody near you. If the song is about connection, so connect with somebody. Hold their hands, look in their eyes. We'll sing it one more time. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. Feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart and have connection. Be in my heart. Put your feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. Put your feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. I put my feet on the ground. Give a big hug. Thank you.
That's Charlie Thwaite. Hey, good to see you. Welcome back. And good morning, Seaside. Woo, what a joy to be with you here today. A little more intimate crowd than last week. With about 900 of us last week. So it's so now that's family. Can we talk? Get down. No. Hey, welcome everybody. What a joy to share a Sunday morning with you. Truly, Seaside is a spiritual nexus, inspiring people to live their dreams, to live their divinity. We are here as a community that cares, that supports, no matter where you may be on your spiritual path. We are here for you in those times of joy and those times of pain. It is a community that loves, that holds no judgment. It is an affirming community that just says, all right, you are here. And I got to tell you, we have been here for 25 years. And so, yes, it is. It is truly a celebration. As you notice, some of us are wearing these darker clothes, and it's in celebration this month in 1988. That's 25 years ago this month, Seaside was incorporated. And so for the rest of this year, we are going to be celebrating our silver anniversary, coming up with all sorts of wonderful activities and things for us to do. We have got the Silver Circle Club going. They'll end up getting you a brick outside. It's exciting things that are happening here, and I want you to know that this church, this community, this center, I guess is what we call it now. Times have changed. It's now called a center. It has always been based on spirit. We have a spiritual core of spiritual practitioners that have been trained in the art of seeing the spiritual truth no matter what is going on. There's about 50 of us among this cadre of spiritual healers, if you would, spiritual counselors that have been praying from the beginning. Seaside has continued to be a vision-led community. When challenges have arisen, the practitioners have gone into prayer, and we have continued to be led by that emerging collective vision of this community. And one of the early spiritual practitioners at Seaside was Candace Young Schultz. Would you take us a little deeper?
I invite you to gently close your eyes and go into the silence as we hear the beauty of the crystal bowl. Even as the bowl reverberates, God reverberates in, through, and as all. For God is the one presence, the one power, everywhere present, in, through, as all. And I know and claim that this center is a center of God expression, a center in which healing happens, a center in which joy occurs, a center in which there is community, there is family, there are heart connections. And I am so grateful for the words of Reverend Dr. Christian, the words of Reverend Tammy, the fabulous music of the musicians, and all those who come together to create this sacred cocoon, the sacred space where truly each is invited to be all they can be, to share who they are as they are in this instant of now. And in gratitude for this community and for all that transpires this morning, I say, and so it is. God is great, God is magnificent, God is love, God is true. I am great, I am magnificent, I am love, I am true. We are great, we are magnificent, we are love, we are true. And that is Rebecca Jade. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Reverend Tammy Mars. It's my joy to be with you here today, to welcome you here today, to know for you that as you have said yes to Spirit, to just be in this space, that you are available for more good. As we step into this very sacred space, I know the power and the love of God moves through, and as your being touches you in glorious ways and allows you to go touch our world in glorious ways. Thank you for your yes. Thank you for being here, being available and conscious and in God. If you are new to our teaching, we want to invite you back to our welcome table if you haven't had an opportunity yet. If this is your first time coming to Seaside, we have a welcome packet for you. It has all kinds of wonderful gifts. It has a book that Reverend Christian has written. It has discounts at the bookstore, all kinds of really wonderful things. So I invite you back to the welcome table and be sure to pick up your gift. And thank you for sharing today with us. Also, we have a class that's called the Basic Beliefs, and it is the first Sunday of every month, so that is today. It's after the service. It's held in our Emerson room, which is right down the hall off the entry. And it is an opportunity for you to see how you can apply these principles to your spiritual path, no matter what that has been. It's an hour, it's informal, you get a wonderful packet filled with all kinds of great information. So we just invite you to join us in that class. And if today you can't make it, it's the first Sunday of every month. So plan on coming and learning more about how you can integrate this powerful teaching into your life. And speaking of integrating, we have a long-time member that has been here with Seaside, and he has a wonderful story about how he has implemented and knows the truth of God. I'd like to call Keith Russell forward at this time to share his wonderful teaching.
Good morning, everyone. Don't worry, this is not about a garage sale, which is the last time I was up here. And what we raised then was called a miracle, but what I'm here to share with is a miracle about me. In October of last year, things started happening in my body, and on December 24th of last year, I got the official, after some surgeries and stuff, that I was diagnosed with stage 3 bladder cancer. They give it some really great words, like it's a high grade and it's a high quality cancer, you know. And the doctor said, what you need to do, and you need to do it now, is you need to get surgery. And I said, and what after the surgery? Then you get chemo and you get radiation. Well, I have been doing some research on cancer, and what I found is that there's an alternative method, and it has to do, instead of being cut and poisoned and burnt, is what I call it, an alternative way to heal cancer. And my miracle is that I was diagnosed, 5 years to live, whatever numbers they give, on December 24th, and on Tuesday of this past week, I got the biopsy from another transection last week, which said, very simply, no malignancy identified. And I know that many of you out there have prayed for me and called me and contacted me, and I love you for that. And another member of the church goes to the alternative center that I go to, and when she heard the news on Wednesday, she was in there. She says, what do you think was the most important thing in your healing, Keith? And I said, well, was it 13 juices a day? Was it 4 coffee enemas a day? Was it 3 IVs a week? Was it injecting myself with B12 shots in the butt 5 times a week, and on and on and on, and eating well? And I thought about each one of those, and what brought those all together was my faith in God. I have this real strong belief that my body is the temple of God, and for a long, long time I didn't treat it that way. And when I declared in my prayers that my body was a temple of God, and I talked to Christian, and Christian offered me some guidance, and I know that the practitioners were praying for me. That's where I did my focus. Every time I started a treatment, every time I made a juice, every time I took an enema, every time I gave myself a shot, it was that my body is perfect, whole, and complete. Okay? Perfect, whole, and complete. That's what I believe, because that's what God is, and we're all God. Well, I guess I did about 95%. Doing 100% of the alternative program is really, really hard. But I have my wonderful wife, Dorothy, back me up, and Christian with his weekly calls, and just a whole lot. I had Science of Mind prayer teams in Wilmington, North Carolina, New Jersey, and Wisconsin, friends all over. But it all boils down to the fact that I had faith in knowing that I'm perfect, whole, and complete, and a child of God. And as a result of that, today I am perfect, whole, and complete. Thank you.
Perfect, whole, and complete. God is good. Let us take that energy and that love and that feeling and that sense, and let us move within as we close our eyes to this outside world and those manifestations and those stories, which is what they are. They are stories that are made up, and we know they have no power, for there is one power, there is one presence, and that power and presence is God, and that power and presence is good. That power and presence is perfect wholeness and healing. It is intelligence. It is abundance. It is love. It is wisdom that is beyond anything that we could conceive or comprehend. We do not walk alone. For God is and I am, and all that God is moves through and as my very being and my whole experience. For I know this power and this presence is loving, supporting, guiding, joyous, and magnificent. I know this for myself, and I know this for each and every one of us. For that power and presence cannot and will not be denied. I open my being with no resistance as I watch the magnificence and the awe that is everywhere around me, and I give great thanks. Great thanks. I live in that space of gratitude, for I see with that eyes that God sees through. And so it's with that I just open my heart and my being, and I release this word into that magnificent yes, and I watch its glory at work. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning. It is my honor to be able to introduce our guest artist for this morning. He's been doing music for over 30 years. He's sung at various spiritual centers. He has 13 albums. Here's 2 I have in my hand right now. And after the service, he will be out there at the table, so you can purchase some CDs from him. And he's traveled internationally doing music and has also taught Carl Anthony everything he knows. Is that correct? You guys give a warm welcome to Charlie Thweet, everybody.
You know Carl, right? Yeah. We used to be roommates. When he moved in, he didn't play guitar. Okay. This is Need to Know My Rhythm, so join me on the chorus if you get it. I need to know my rhythm. I need to know the parts of me. I need to know my rhythm. What's beating in the heart of me? I need to know my rhythm. I need to know the parts of me. I need to know my rhythm. What's beating in the heart of me? Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe I just need to shout, or maybe I just need to move my energy. Breathing in, breathing out. The more I know, the less I doubt that I am waking up into my destiny. Sing it! I need to know my rhythm. I need to know the parts of me. I need to know my rhythm. What's beating in the heart of me? I need to know my rhythm. I need to know the parts of me. I need to know my rhythm. What's beating in the heart of me? Whoa, 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 whoa. Time will pass, it goes by, but can you ever tell me why? Some of us are stuck while others sail along. Could it be those who fly know their souls eye to eye, living from a place where they are standing strong? I need to know my rhythm. I need to know the parts of me. I need to know my rhythm. What's beating in the heart of me? I need to know my rhythm. I need to know the parts of me. I need to know my rhythm. What's beating in the heart of me? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me hear you. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There you are. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I need to know my rhythm. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Hey, that is Charlie Fleet. Oh my, oh my. Want you to know, Charlie was really instrumental in starting the whole New Thought music ministry 3 decades ago. You can find him written about in Alan Cohen's book. We've got Carl Anthony, a protege, and truly an icon in the New Thought music. So, Charlie, what a joy to have you back. 30 years, my goodness, that time has been kind to us, hasn't it? Yeah. So, anyway, the guys, you're looking good. They're gone, but sounding good. They don't want to be seen looking like that for too long. But really, we want you to know next week is big, 12:30 or after the second service, right out there in our gardens that we're dedicating, our celebration gardens, by ribbon cutting with our deputy mayor and our supervisor of the county, Dave Roberts, reading a proclamation. It is going to be a big day, cameras and the press, just really making a statement of the first 25 years and a dedication as to what now is going on. And the gardens look beautiful. I just want a special thank you to Callie and Trudy and the 17 that were here yesterday cleaning up all day. You want to stand so we can just say, the place looks good. We got a party going on. It's just absolutely fabulous. Woo! So bring on the mayor. We're ready for that. Anyway, so now what? And that's this morning's message. You know, now what? You cut that ribbon, and then what? And that's the thing. And what I've come to discover, it's what's now that shows up what's next. And there's a wonderful Zen story of a master teacher who stopped in at a monastery for a 6-month stay. And as soon as he got in, he started cleaning up the overgrown gardens. He started scraping the forlorn paint on the wall in his room, scraping and redoing the floor that was there. He even went out and bought a nice, nice hanging for his room. And his the students there said, "Master, we don't understand. You are here on a transitional stay. Why are you doing this?" And he said, "Well, all of life is temporary and transitional. But the main point is I intend to be here for the next 6 months. And that's what's next, is when you choose to be here, when you choose to be present. But what has happened in life so often is we have accumulated so many things around us that it's hard for us to be here because we are so bombarded and confused and distracted by all the stuff. One of the things I like doing occasionally, I've shared with you, and it's springtime, and I remind you, is to clean it out. You know, I like to clean out the baby fat so I can keep the treasure that is there so I can enjoy what is now, because as I begin to enjoy what is now, that is what tends to show up in the future, is that joy, is that good, is that beauty, because too often people are waiting for the good to show up, and it is time to stop waiting for success, and I submit that what we do is we wade into our success instead of waiting for our success to show up in life. Yes, and know that in this waiting, you come to recognize that the good's here now in my life. You know, I had these visions of, my book going #1, New York Times bestseller, maybe my next one, 1,000 people every Sunday, all these things. But when I stop and clean out all that baby fat, what now is that my life is wonderful. The best moment in my week is right now. I love this moment on Sunday mornings. All week long, I am getting ready, but I'm loving what I'm doing, my reading, my writing, my thinking, contemplating, meditating, praying, getting ready for this moment. Every moment is filled with the wonder to create this moment. And then I realized what else I love. It's just being home in the afternoon with Callie in the kitchen, chopping the fresh kale from the garden, and the afternoon sun coming in from the west into the kitchen, warming that up, and Trevor off making his sounds from whatever other room he's in, and just how perfect that moment is in our life. And as I begin to recognize what now, I realize what now is God. What now is wonderful. And the delight in my world, I'm the only one responsible for the delight in my life. People can pay me, they can applaud me, but I'm the only one who can experience the gratitude of the good, the success, the fulfillment now. What now? Now is the appointed moment. Now is the moment I'm choosing to feel the gratitude and appreciation and the delight in my life. And it is that divine frequency, that expression of God that brings with it the trust, the good, the gratitude, the security. That I'm in that God vibration, and that is where my good is now in my life. Gil Gibran talks about it being life longing for itself, life longing for its expression in its world. And as we experience this longing and give access to it in our life, we are moved, and some things take place in our life. And all of our todays have their purpose also in our tomorrows. What's going on today prepares us for tomorrow. And a lot of times I'm trying to figure out how this is really going to help me. It's like, oh my goodness, some of the situations I'm in are difficult. Some of the things I try to understand seem to be incomprehensible. I really don't know how to heal or what it means or any of that kind of stuff. Or I think, oh, how could I possibly have done that? And it just turns my insides with a discomfort. And it's like, but I've got to remind myself that today has its purpose also in tomorrow. And it may be a years of tomorrows before it ever has any relevancy in my life. And so what I must know now, what now is to know that I've got to trust, I've got to have faith, I've got to believe that there is something greater than my mind that is trying to figure it all out. There is a greater something that knows my highest and best good beyond what it is I know for myself. Yes? Yeah, that's good. That's good because, you got the large and then you've got the small. Ernest Holmes talks about the macrocosm and the microcosm. You got the big, you got the little. You've got the universal and the particular. And Spirit particularizes itself in the moment, but I have got to begin to trust that and go into that space and realize I'm going to choose trust, I'm going to choose patience, and I'm going to choose faith because what's going on now is not necessarily making sense. I don't quite understand why I'm going through what it is I'm going through, but I know my good is now, my success is now, my fulfillment is now, so I've got to know what now is going to reveal itself at some point, but I don't need to know now when it is or what it's going to be. And I'm going to sit in this space in a mindful kind of place and not get lost in the space and get spaced out, if you would, but just be mindful as I'm walking in this world so I can be a congruent balance between the universal and the particular. That I can, yes, you walk in and I'm so mindful. I got my breath, isn't this great? I'm feeling every footstep. I'm in the samadhi state and I step off into the traffic and smash. That doesn't do you any good. You got the big and the small, the particular, the universal, and what now is the congruence and the convergence of it all showing up in your life. Because what's going on now? You want to know what's now? I'll tell you what now is going on, is there is a second mystical renaissance taking place upon our planet. You had the early Christians. You had Meister Eckhart. You had, St. Teresa of Avila, St. John of the Cross, St. Bernadette. You had on the other side of the world, you had Rumi, Kabir. There was an uprising of that connectedness, that drunkenness, if you would, as Rumi would say, intoxication with God and that sense of oneness. Well, there's this re-emergence going on in the last few decades because the people, that means us, we've been asking this question. What was I born for? What is my spiritual path? What is it that is mine to do? How do I get clearer with this guidance? But I also want to point out these are not ordinary questions. They're invocations. They're invitations for God to come clearer into our life. And we may not consciously be knowing that, but we're asking these spiritual, mystical invocations. I'm going to ask you, Tuesday night, I've got a mysticism class I'm starting. I usually do this 10-week one. Everybody complained, it's too long. So it's 3 weeks, so I hope I see everybody there Tuesday night because I'm going to ask you these questions to start us off because I want you to know about this mysticism is that it's not going to be a course on mystics. It is going to be about the embodiment of the mystical consciousness. It's not an intellectual study of what mystics are. It's the experience of that connectedness with the source and the spirit and the mystical experience because the mystics are someone who come now. What's now? They come from that intuitive side of life. They come from the inside out into the world. They are led from that place that has the faith, the trust, and the patience with what is going on in life now without a judgment and intuitively perceive reality, what is going on out there. You got that? Intuitively perceive reality, not figuring it out, intellectually understanding it. They are in that place where they are allowing that spirit to have its way in their life. That is the intuitive, trusting, and faith of what is and what now is God expressing, as Keith was talking about, in his body was the temple of God. In my life, in this moment, is the expression of God. I may not understand it, but what now is I believe in the presence of God as my life expression. I know what's on the other side of that ribbon is the expression of God. Because I'll tell you what, if you're going through this world looking to get to that other side, to be filled up, if you're going empty and yearning, you're going to arrive empty, yearning, and the other side's going to be empty and yearning. It's now is the appointed moment in our life. So I've been reading, as I shared with you last week, some Sri Sri Ravi Krishna. Shankar, not Krishna. And I got to hear him speak a week ago or so. And what's interesting about these guys is what they share is not that profound. I mean, those stories we teach our kids, which is why everyone should bring their kids or grandkids and any young person into our junior church because they're great and they are profound stories. But we've heard a lot of them. But what is amazing with these guys who are recognized avatars on our planet this time is there is a vibration around them. It is about being in the presence of that frequency. It'd be like Lynn hitting on the piano, middle C, and this whole room vibrating at middle C. These individuals spend so much time with God that when you are in their presence, there is that God vibration that is so prevalent, which is why people want to be within that frequency, because here are individuals that spend their time meditating all day, every day, days after days, and integrating that into their life and into their world and their self-expression. And so one of the things I was reading, he was talking about desire. And so desire is about, attaining happiness, right? You got desire. What's your desire? So you can be happy, whether it's a nice thing you're doing or a bad thing, you're still looking at being happy with this desire you got. Yes? Okay. But desire is always about tomorrow. And joyous living, which this year is about at Seaside, is being in joy. Joy is a now thing. The only place one can experience joy is now. So if you're in the now moment, you can't really have desires. Because if you have desires, your desires are about tomorrow. They're not now. But if you're in the now with joy, then you don't have the desires because you're living in the fulfillment and the joyous expression and the infallible sign of the presence of God. You're living in that mystical state of success and fulfillment and contentment and coming from there. And that is what is now and that is what is tomorrow for you. So, but with that said, I still got desires. Callie will tell you. No. But what, I was hanging out at the movie theater with I went to the movies Friday with Trevor. We went to see The Croods, which is about the level of my movie viewing the last decade, animation. I mean, they mostly have the same story. This one happens to be teenage daughter upset with dad, kind of outdated in his way, but in the end, he saves everybody and she loves him. And that's the way it goes. You know, Brave before that was young girl upset with mom, but it all worked out in the end. It tends to be good moral stories. You know, they all make me cry. But not that I would tell you that really if I was thinking about it. So where I diverged. I diversed. Anyway, so here I was going. So I buy a ticket, right? And I give the person at the door the ticket, and they let me in. You go, university time, kids are applying. They fill out their forms, they submit it, and there they go, they're in. And what I get is about desire is what's important is you've got to submit it. You know, it's okay to have a desire. It's okay to have a ticket. It's okay to have an application, but you got to turn it in. You got to let go of it. You can't keep holding on to it. And that is the thing with the desire. You have to submit it and turn it into God and let it go and step into that in your life. Because there's individuals out there who are just always holding on to their desire. They can tell you their desires, but they're never fulfilled. Or there are others who've got desires and over a long period of time, something finally happens because they finally had to do something. But then there are others who are constantly submitting their desires. And constantly, boom, things seem to be working in their world. But then there's another group that just constantly live in the realm of fulfillment. And as they live in that realm of fulfillment and joy, all the desires are continuously taken care of before it ever becomes a desire because they are living in that mystical state of connectedness with Spirit. Jesus said, before you ask, it shall be answered. Pray, believing, and it will be taken care of. Before you ask, it is there. That is living in the realm of fulfillment, living in that realm of it being taken care of. But yet I watch people submitting, exhausting themselves. They get so tired going for the success in their life that finally when they hit it, they really don't care. They're just pooped. They're just tired. And this is why it is important to be that now. I'm not becoming successful. I am being successful. I'm coming from the success. I am coming from the sense of fulfillment where it is all taken care of. And this isn't just semantics, be or becoming. This is as different as night and day. It is as significant as that I am choosing to be in this place of fulfillment and joy and success rather than going after that which I think is going to make me feel that. When I slip into that old reptilian, fear-based small mind, I'm just trying to catch flies. I'm happy with that. Yeah. I don't care about the broader perspective that cosmic recipe has within, so without stuff. All I want is what I want is that fly or that something now to bring me this immediate satisfaction, as opposed to realizing there's something larger here, and where I find myself is serving me tomorrow. Even though I'm moving through it today, I'm learning today, there is a purpose for this experience in my life in the tomorrows that are coming up in my world and in my life. But I've got to realize it is about living today, fully today, in this moment. That is the point of my life. I used to think, I just want to cross the finish line. You know, I want to break through that velvet ribbon, fall to my knees, have the orchestra play, and in an instant understand it all and see how it makes sense in my life. Now I got it. And all of a sudden, I will have that perfect body. I will hike the Himalayas on the weekend. I will do yoga every day. I will meditate 3 times a day, have time left over to spend with the family. Oh, and be organized. Actually find the piece of paper I'm looking for when I'm looking for it. And the book on my shelf right away, not next week when you're gone. It's not about getting there. When I can begin to recognize the reverence of my life today, that's when I'm standing on holy ground. That's when the wonder is there. And it's from this sense of fulfillment and joy that the things and the visions that come don't come as desires, but they come as the next steps that bring me joy all week long as I'm moving to the manifestation of what has been placed within my heart and within my soul, which is spirit. That this moment is great. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, he had some reason to have some angst in life. Exile, genocide against his people. He has reason to be upset. And yet, he wrote a book called The Art of Happiness. And the interviewer was sitting with him and said, gosh, you've been with the kings, the popes, the presidents. You've had some pretty good experiences. What is your happiest moment? Thought about it. Kind of smiled. And you just hear him go, oh. You know how he does? Oh. He said, I think right now. Wow. Kings, presidents, popes, and it's right now? I got to tell you, right now is a real good time to be with a sense of joy and happiness and fulfillment. Because that's what's creating on the other side of that ribbon. On the other side is more. It's not the emptiness and the yearning. It is more of the joy and the happiness that we're living now. But what is it you're looking at? Rumi, he talked about, actually instructed us. He said, when you go into the garden, are you looking for thorns or are you looking for flowers? I suggest you spend more time with roses and jasmine. There's thorns in life. I don't want to deny that. I'm not this metaphysical movement of years ago. Oh, it's all wonderful, la la la. Stuff goes on. But what are you looking at? Where are you coming from? Irma Bombeck, I read a column of hers. Obviously, she wrote it a while ago. And she was addressing the issue of 100,000 children being born every year with different abilities and special needs, and trying to bring some comfort to the moms of these 100,000 children, and trying to explain, in a sense, how and what's just trying to make things better. And she said, just visualize God hovering above the world with his angel and a big notebook and a pen, and this is only metaphorically now, okay? It's not what we... Anyway, so God says, the angel, Armstrong, Beatrice, son, patron saint, give her Matthew. Here's Carcel, Susie, daughter, patron saint, give him Cecilia. Thomas, Jerry, twins. Give her the twins. But patron saint, give her Gerard, because Gerard, he swears and he can understand what's going to happen there. And goes through the list and says, and the blind child, let's give to this one. Angel says, but excuse me, this mom, she's happy. I can't do that to her. And God says, of course. We have to, it would be perfect. This child could not go to a home where there isn't laughter. There has to be some laughter in this world. Otherwise, it's just going to be sad and dark and heavy all the time. And patience. This one, she has patience, so she's not going to be consumed by the sea of self-pity and despair and the anger and the resentment. She'll eventually get over it and get on with it. And she's a little selfish. And the angel says, selfish? Is that a spiritual virtue? I said, well, it's important to be a little selfish because if she doesn't know how to separate herself from this child and re-nourish and replenish herself, then she's never going to make it that distance. Got to learn to be able to replenish herself. And this one, she is able to just, she's going to be able to be the envy of everyone, and she won't even know it yet because she is going to just see every word that is uttered from this child as a miracle. When she is present, when that child for the first time says, Mommy, she will know she's at the moment in the presence of a miracle that is unfolding. And I'm going to let her see some of the things that I see that people express, like the bigotry and the prejudice and the cruelty, and learn to rise above that. And also, when she describes to her child a sunset or a tree, she's going to see my creations like no one else is able to see this. But God, she doesn't even believe in you. Oh, she'll be, when we're done with her, that's for, that's for sure. Okay, God. So, what patron saint should we give her? God smiles and says, a mirror will suffice. A mirror will suffice for each of you. If you want to see the presence of God, if you want to know joy, the happiness, and the fulfillment that is present for you now, look into that mirror. Because I'll tell you what, we're no longer around in the first renaissance of the mystical realm. That was the era in which they believed you had to run off to a convent or an ashram and cloister yourself from the rest of the world and practice deprivation. Poverty, chastity. I can't even pronounce it. Thank goodness we're not in that first era anymore. They practiced poverty as a vow so they could bring forth the presence of God and be generous within their pain. Well, I believe we're in a time where we've got to learn to be generous in our generosity. As our world has been blessed, we've got to remember to be that blessing in this world in which we walk. It is no longer about renouncing our family or renouncing our friends and running off. It is about being a mystic without a monastery. And today you have been called into this world, this second renaissance of the rising mystical consciousness that you have been asked to embody now. Not when you cross that line, not when you get there, because that desire is going to be in your tomorrows. It is about experiencing the joy, the fulfillment, and the success that is in your life today. And when you arrive, you will find more success, joy, and fulfillment for you to live your life from. God bless you as you participate in this wonderful expression. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring Charlie Thweet back to the stage.
We okay? We good?
We're good?
I guess we're good. So I do want to mention, I was told it was the 25th anniversary, so I'm as silver as I can be. What do you think? Can you turn down my monitor a little bit because the guitar seems really loud in this? Thanks. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Sing that with me. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. I'm lost in useless patterns, that seemed so comfortable, and things that used to work are now unbearable. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Oh, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Your love is like a garden that you keep offering. You wrap me in that fragrance, and I keep opening. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. I'm letting down the wall. Oh, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. I'm letting down the wall. I'm lost in useless patterns that seemed so comfortable, and things that used to work are now unbearable. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave, I'm letting down the wall. Oh, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave, I'm letting down the wall. 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 Thank you. It's been great being here. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely, Charlie. Dang. Bring down the wall. Hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to unite together in our givingness and the sharing and support of this vision that is showing up as Seaside. And know that you play an intimate and integral part of its continuation and its unfoldment. And so this is the time of our service where we pause and give us an opportunity to express the appreciation of God within our life. And as you give, it comes back. It's not why you give, but rather it's how it works. And so this is a moment in which you get to be the activity of God in your life. It returns into your life at the level in which you choose to be. Not become, but be. And so with that, I'd like to invite our ushers to come forward at this time as we do take our gift from our heart and our soul. And I want to say thank you to this wonderful crew, and thank you to those who mail in your contribution when you cannot be here on a Sunday. It is greatly appreciated, as well as those that remember us with the auto tithe, that regular systematic support from your world into Seaside, because we do have that ongoing regular financial responsibility. And thank you to those that are watching us live streaming and your support that comes in. I share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that the blessings of the divine unfolds its expression in this very moment, that each of us lives within that divine vibration, and I know that the security and the good and the abundance flows from being in that God vibration of that infinite expression that particularizes its expression, that individualizes its expression. So from the grand, there comes that individual expression at the level in which each of us has chosen to participate. So living with a sense of gratitude, knowing that this is the seed that is blessed, that will continue to grow and bless this world, we send it forth in love and say, thank you, Father, Mother God, for this opportunity to participate in this flow. And so it is. Amen. And together, let us say the sharing of our affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live in the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Feel that love from those guys. And I feel and see this love here, this outpouring that is truly an expression of our heart and soul, this extension of appreciation of the fulfillment that has blessed and graced our individual lives. We send it forth on this current of happiness and joy, for truly the blessing is given and is received in love and handled in the stewardship of love and wise decisions. For knowing this blessing continues to bless as it moves out into the world. I say thank you, Father, Mother God, for touching our individual lives, and know that this touch continues to swell up and touch more, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Joanne. All right. Hey, and thank you, Charlie. Nice job. Way to come back to Seaside. Been a while. That's good. Like that silver, so appropriate. And Rebecca Jade, how fabulous that you are here with us today. Thank you, thank you. And I love that those heels. Actually, see somebody wearing those other than on American Idol is just so fun. So, thanks. You're wonderful, that's for sure. And guys in the band, you're looking good, sounding good, as always. It's you're looking forward to you playing October 5th. Bob, you'll get that organized, right? Our gala, Reverend Tammy, always a joy to share Sunday morning with you. Giving us sound in the back is Ed. Giving us the visuals is Marv. Know that there's CDs available right after the service. Special love to Tim, who is sharing this and live streaming it with the world. And the podcast Tim shared with me in the last 2 years since we've been on YouTube, 21,450 people have watched one of our Sunday services. So we are making a difference for sure. And obviously, big news next week. We've got our dedication of our celebration gardens. You heard me talk about that. Friday night here, big night. Lynn Twist, the Soul of Money head of the Hunger Project, just fabulous individual. Her group, the Pachamama Alliance, is going to be here. I can't wait to hear and see their symposium and what it is they have to share Friday night. Come be part of that. And then also, we have, let's see, today, if you're interested in more about our principles, Basic Science of Mind with Debbie McDonald. She's waving at us in the back. She's in the Emerson room after the service. We'll go over that. And then I am starting my class on Tuesday night. Reverend Lori is doing a class during the day on Thursdays. We got Reverend Tammy doing classes. Catherine's doing classes. And hey, Reverend Lori, how's it going up there with our kids? This is just fabulous. We miss you here. All right. That's, I thank you for loving our children that much, for going and leading that group. Well, I'll tell you what I want to do right now is pray. Healing is the thrust of our movement since its conception. I want to invite any of our religious science practitioners to stand, invite you to feel this wellspring of energy, and just know that they have been praying for us from the beginning. They're a legacy. They stand on the shoulders and the foundations of the first practitioners here at Seaside. So, and celebrate with us with the silver circle. But right now, I can feel that love, that movement of the divine, for the grace of God is moving in this moment. The joy, the laughter, the applaud, the music, the sounds, the children, just as a confirmation of the aliveness of the divine impress of God that is prevalent for those that choose to see the roses and the jasmine, for those that choose to walk in this life in the garden and see the flowers. For it's in this moment I choose to recognize that which brought me into expression, that first breath, that first cause that is resonating in this moment. I align with that and know that here and now I speak from this place of connectedness, knowing that it is from this place of joy and fulfillment that I am this divine expression, expressing here in this moment, knowing the truth of this spiritual community, that God moves within the heart and soul, that this spiritual community continues to rest on the foundation of the divine, that it continues to be vision-led, for God and its grace and its glory and its abundance and its ease continues to unfold within the individual lives of the members of this family. For I know right now that God, all things are possible. And so if anyone today is experiencing anything less than the wholeness of being discomfort in the body or the world of affairs, know that it is the human experience. It is what is going on. But what now? God. What does that mean? Ask those invocative questions. What is my purpose? Where is the guidance here? How can I become clearer? For what now is God manifesting within our individual lives, moving the experience to a new level. For know that the level of experience today has its purpose in tomorrow's, but it is now in this moment that I'm choosing to come from a place of trust and faith and patience, knowing that the divine success and fulfillment is now, and it continues to unfold before me in the wholeness and the divine right action and the wonderful support of it all is what I am, is what you are. There's nothing that is impossible. We heard today an amazing story of stage 3 cancer gone. Continue to hear stories of transformation, of shift in consciousness. The body knows how to make itself right. The bones know how to come into alignment. The cells and the tissue of the body know how to respond. A whole body knows, because it is the intelligence of God made manifest. And all I need to do is believe. All I need to do is have the faith. I don't need to make it happen. I don't need that intellectual understanding. I move to that place of the intuitive reality, of the mystical consciousness, and embody that which Jesus embodied. That connectedness of no otherness, and in that God place, all that is that light. And I'm grateful for this abundant, deep knowingness. I'm thankful for our prayer requests that are in our prayer request chest that are being answered. And in this time, we extend our heart and our soul to our brother minister up the road, Rick Warren, whose son made his transition on Friday. This 27-year-old moves on the wonderful currents of eternality, freed from any of the concerns or constraints that were going on within his life, knowing that he has fulfilled his mission as a soul teacher. For the blessings of Spirit are here. The blessings of Spirit is everywhere. So every church, every synagogue, every temple, every house of learning, the presence of God is felt and empowered those that come to pause within their day to know the richness, the delight of life now. And it is from this sense of gratitude that the seed is planted. It is from this sense of appreciation for that which is God, expressing life, expressing that which I am, and the ease that comes with that. Spirit flows in this very moment, and this I am grateful, and this I let go, and this I surrender, and allow Spirit to have its way. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it all go. Let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide, and I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only. You guys sing it, come on. Very nice, y'all. Oh, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light.
is a long one, and it is. My spiritual experiences integrate smoothly into my daily life. All right. My spiritual experiences integrate smoothly into my life. One more time. My spiritual experiences integrate smoothly into my daily life. And our song of grace.
I'm living in love, living in peace, living my life for what I believe, through joys and through fears. In this world I walk, God's grace shines through me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love, living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me, and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace.